if you were into scrapbooking and other paper crafting, you miter the corners so you don't have that bulk. Okay, and then I'm going to continue down here, and like I said, I came up short here knowing that this was going to go over it. Okay, and then I'll trim that up to the way the curve of the envelope is. Okay, so I'm right-handed, so of course I want to start down here. It's easier for me to follow the line. Sorry if you can't see right now. My hand's blocking what I'm doing. But I'm just applying the glue up to the edge, about the width of the nozzle, and then I'm coming back down. So I'm pretty confident now with my where everything's going to be. Okay, so if you can see, I made that just a little bit wider than just one line. And again, making sure I have the right side up. Some of the laces you can't tell. It's really hard to tell what's the right side, what's the wrong side. Just do whichever one you like best. Again, there's really no right or wrong in a lot of this stuff. And here I want to turn it around just a little bit. And I'm going to trim this before I stick it down too much. You can always you can pull your lace and stretch it too, which is kind of nice. So again, I just want to make sure I'm kind of lined up to the edge as much as I can be, so it's nice and straight. See, nice to have time to move that a little bit and play with that. Now see how this is a little bit on the edge? That might get in the way, so I'm just going to... Sometimes it all depends which way you put your scissors, if you can get into that or not. Okay? Yeah, see how you can, it's gonna fold up a bit because it's pretty thick lace, so I definitely will have to go with a Velcro, some type of Velcro closure on there, but that's okay. Okay, and then now, like I said, I didn't tack all this down in case I had to pull it up, but now I'm confident with where it went. And because this is kind of scalloped, I'm not going to do a straight line. I'm just going to kind of zigzag it a little bit, because I don't want a lot of the glue oozing out, you know, making it look sloppy, right? Because once you get the glue on the paper, boy, like I said, it's a little stringy. It's hard to get back off. And I know I have a string right here, so I want to get that while I can. And I just want to push that down. This is more of a point where I'd probably get more glue on my fingers. Okay. It's not perfect at the corner, but that's okay. Just shows it was handmade, right? And almost forgot, can't start my... Gotta have the wet wipes. It's the only way I can keep the glue off my fingers and not have glue all over my project where I don't want it. And another thing too, to keep the glue from building up at all on my scissors, I try to tack it as soon as I can. Okay? So I think on this, it's not as loose because I did come out a little bit further. And it's laying pretty flat, so I'm not even going to add more glue there. You know, why take the risk of it getting in this area? Okay? And if, I don't know if all of you are familiar, it's been around for a while. But if you're new, especially to paper crafting, if you haven't done card making or scrapbooking before. There is a glue eraser. I've had mine for I don't know how many years now. This is what they look like, and I know they have them even at the Dollar Tree now for even $1. I paid a lot more for mine than that. And of course, make sure the glue is dry first. If you start trying to use this before the glue is dry, you're really rubbing the glue more into the paper. But once the glue is dry, you just use this, and you just want to be gentle. You don't want to be too harsh because you will end up tearing your paper, just like using an eraser too much, right? You know, sometimes I'll go in a soft circular motion. It helps lift it up a little bit rather than a straight back and forth, and it doesn't seem to tear your paper up as much. The cool thing about this is, you know, the corners will end up where like you'll get little gobs of the glue, which I just peel off. But this you can easily cut. You know, if you start getting a lot of gunk on it, you can just cut it and trim it and keep using it until you're down to nothing before you have to buy another one. Like I said, that's why I've had mine for a really long time. So just great tool to have. Like I said, I know at the Dollar Tree they have them there for $1. But you can find these, like I'm sure Amazon or other companies that carry scrapbooking supplies have them. And it's been my savior many, many times. Okay, so I got that top part. Do I want to add some to the bottom as well? It is going to add a little bit more thickness, and then you got to deal with tucking it in here, which we can do that. That's not a problem. Just I want to, and this is what I'm talking about, auditioning and trying to see how things are going to look and how they're going to function, because this is a functional piece, right? So if I have that there and I go to close it, yeah. But again, I'll have a Velcro here, but let me think about that, because if I put my butterfly, and I'm going through this with you because it's not a straightforward process. I don't know what kind of pieces of lace you're going to have. I mean, it's not that there's no measuring. I'm just trying to give you some food for thought when you go to do yours. Here's my butterfly, and so if I put it right to the edge like that, and I have this here, if I put a Velcro, okay, I can do it and put a Velcro here and a little bit higher up here, because I don't want to put it like right where his head and that is, right? So I might have to back my butterfly down a little bit. And I think I'm okay with it. I mean, I would have liked to have had it up closer, because I really wanted to get his bottom in there. Yeah. Not happy about that. If I don't go with that, is it still going to be really thick to close? It's not as bad. It's really not as bad. Sorry about that. There was a call coming in. Yeah, I really don't like the idea of bringing this down. And I mean, I'm okay with things hanging off, but even if I do that and bring it up, I got lace up here. But, you know, we could always just tie it around with a ribbon. I think I like that idea better than adding Velcro. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to have like a ribbon closure on it so that, yeah, I don't want to hang the butterfly half down off like that, then I'd have to cover all that up. So, like I said, there's always solutions, and you just have to kind of think about that as you're going through the process. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. I was hoping that it wouldn't, while I was recording, not interrupt the taping. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, let's do, I'm going to do a ribbon closure on this one, a tie around it. So let's, I think it looks nicer and more complete doing it. And see, once in a while you get like threads on your lace that you have to just kind of clean up a little bit. Okay, you want to kind of check that before you start gluing things down. Yeah, see, I think it just looks a little bit neater, adds a lot more to it. So that's what we're going to do. Now, the hard part is I want to glue in here, right? But I don't want, in the process while I'm gluing along, this to get stuck on there. I don't want glue on here, right, on this side. That's going to cause me a problem later. So I want to put something in there. And I'm going to just grab a pen or something. See, just to keep it lifted while I'm applying my glue and my ribbon. I think I'm going to go with something even just a little bit thicker. I'm still taping, yes, okay. A little bit thicker, just because I want as much working room as I possibly can get. Yep, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to really be so fast with this, but at the same time, it's important that I show you guys. I want you to learn from what I'm showing you and why I make the decisions, or, you know, what to consider. Then you get into a project and you get this deep into it, and then you feel frustrated or things aren't working the way you're imagining it to be, or why it didn't go as simple as what Sandy showed me, because I had already figured everything and planned it out, right? A lot of it I don't know. You don't know until you start working on your project and working with the materials that you're using or having. I am on this, though, just because I think it's going to be hard. Oops. So I got to hold it up, right? I want to have an idea of how long. Okay. Because I don't want to have to try to cut it once it's laid in there. So we're going to do it like that. Okay. So now this is where, again, this tool comes in real handy. I can get it to where I want it in those tight spots. Again, I don't want to get too close to my fold line, but I don't want a big gap there either, because that just wouldn't look nice. Okay. And so, yep, I'm a little bit short, like a scallop. But you know what, this over here's okay, I can take that out now. Because this is a thick lace, I can use my finger and not get too much glue on it. And I'm gonna just kind of pull this, stretch it a little bit. That's another thing that's nice when you're working with the lace. Because I thought, oh, I'm coming up short, I need to cut just a little piece and add it in there, but I really don't. Once I start, yeah, straightening this out. Because you also don't want it to be too built up in the edges either, right? So, yeah. See how it's kind of stretching out for me a little bit? It's better than having it bulked up. And even if you don't get all the way to the corner, right? See, that's close enough. You don't want to be too much in the corner anyway. Oops, it's still sliding. Yeah, and then I double check. Yeah, see how, and it's okay. I still, it's lace on top of lace here. It's not impeding the fold. But it's nice because it's going to add a little bit of a curvature to it. You know what I mean? And I think that'll end up looking real nice like that. Okay? All right. So we got that part done. How am I on my time? Oh, 48 minutes. Okay. It's let me run a little bit longer than a half an hour. I'm surprised. Okay. What I'm going to do next is put this front piece on that I cut with the scalloped edge. I'm going to attach that. Now, as you see, I did not add that up here. You can if you want to. I'm choosing not to because, again, it is a different, and because I'm going to be cutting it to this, right? So I want this different paper to show, and this is like kind of a focal point for me. So I don't have to add, like I did on the other one, more lace or more another applique that's going to make it even thicker, okay? What I'm going to do is, because I'm worried about getting close to where this is going to cut me off, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to go ahead and add this on. What I'm going to do, I do want it to hang over a little bit. So I'm going to go right to the edge of where the top of the scallop is. I'm going to glue that down, and then I'm going to trim it off around here. And then we'll get to the final parts of like putting the, and you know what, I'll probably go ahead and put the butterfly on because I already told you I was going to do that. Because then there's no need for you to watch me just glue something on, right? So I'm going to glue this on there on top of that. But I'm not going to glue it or wrap around yet because I don't know. I don't know till I get to the back and see what I want to do with the back. If this is going to be a problem, then I may cut them off and you still get the image of the butterfly. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do that part rather than you guys waste time watching me. We're already at a lengthy time here. But I don't want it cutting off in the middle of a step like it just did this last video. Okay, so be back in a minute, guys.